Quintez for the 4-month resub. Kind of interesting how we got here today. It's kind of a combination of a few different things. One, I think I've given Soul Cultured a little bit too much love, and maybe not enough love to Up the Beanstalk. And Timeless Lotus, a deck that we've worked on a lot in the past, like one of the best brews I think from this year. Essentially, this is a Amulet deck that is a lot more resilient to creature removal than Amulet Titan, while killing on turn 3, I think, very consistently. Maybe like probably about as consistent as Amulet Titan kills on turn 3, maybe a little bit more. And someone, I forgot who it was, someone top 8 with Amulet Titan over the weekend. A very different list from this, something that was very similar to like some of our earlier drafts. You know, it was an Escape to the Wilds version. I think you're playing 2 Explore, 2 Azusa. Yeah, maybe something closer to this. But I was kind of musing, and I remembered someone in chat was like, Spike, have you thought about playing Up the Beanstalk in Timeless Amulet? And I was like, well, usually you don't want to play Up the Beanstalk with actual 5 drops. You want to be kind of cheating on that mana cost of stuff. But I was kind of looking at it again, and like, well, we're casting all these 5 drops on, turn 3. And the kind of the goal of this deck is to like, so when you're casting your 5 drops, you're casting your Golos, your Lotus, your Storm of the Festival, your Cavalier. Each of these are like drawing you cards and making you mana, and they're allowing you to like more or less go through your entire library and then cast an Emrakul. And then we have some extra Emrakuls in the sideboard against Leyline Binding and Solitude decks. But and so we've played the One Ring in this shell before. The One Ring is not a card that triggers Up the Beanstalk, and as it turns out, after my playtesting last night, Up the Beanstalk draws a lot more cards, and it's also 2 mana instead of 4 mana. Up the Beanstalk was incredibly impressive in my playtesting yesterday. It was something I was very surprised by. It was all, like, I liked how cheap it was on the mana curve, and I liked how it helped me fight through counter spells. Just like, every time they counter one of my expensive spells, I'm getting a 2-for-1. And on the combo turns, it was like a very meaningful effect to help me combo off. It was like very often like +3, +4 cards. And like if I ever had 2 in play, like it was just like basically always game over, which was which was absolutely not my expectation going into it. But it was certainly my my experience yesterday. And then I also decided that I wanted to be trying Cavalier of Thorns over Escape to the Wilds for a couple different reasons. One of the big ones is that it was really awkward to have Escape to the Wilds and Storm the Festival in the same deck, where you have a 5-drop that's not a permanent that you can't hit off Storm the Festival. So playing Cavalier makes your Storm hits a lot better. Like, Storm is like so insane because you have Cavaliers, and Cavalier can mill over Storm, of course. Very similar formula to the mono green deck. But also beyond that, I think that if you don't play the Cavaliers, you need to play 2 Emrakuls in the main deck, especially if you play Escape to the Wilds, because sometimes you'll like escape, flip over an Emrakul, and then you can't cast it that turn or the next turn, and then you lose. Well, you usually can cast it for what it's worth. But Cavalier is also kind of a backup win condition. So game 1, if you're going through your deck, you cast the Emrakul, they Solitude the Emrakul, you just still have like 20 power to attack on your extra turn, so you don't need to worry so much about having that second Emrakul in the main. I think you still want the extras in the sideboard for the Solitude matchups, because we are so pretty in on this card, winning us the game for what it's worth. But the Cavaliers were definitely good yesterday, and it's also nice to like only really need green mana to cast your non-Golos stuff. Like, Escape to the Wilds is not the easiest card to cast in like a mostly green deck, for whatever that's worth. So I think that those are the main points I had to hit. I'm sure that we will have some thoughts here. I wonder if Cavalier's ready to Escape. Yeah, Escape is more powerful, but Cavalier plus Storm just play so well together, and it lets you have 1 less Emrakul on your deck, which is pretty nice too. Okay, let's go. So I would play someone other Silver Titan. Yeah, that's always the big question. So this deck, I think, is a little bit faster than Titan on average. This deck is also very, very, very resilient to creature removal. Titan is a deck that can struggle a lot against Solitudes and Terminates and Unholy Heats. This deck kind of just like laughs at those cards. You're really, really good at just fighting through almost any amount of your... We just don't have a turn 2 play. Stands a lot better. Yeah, it just feels like normal games of Modern sometimes. Here on the draw against Tron. I guess we're not performing because we lost the die roll. Could we beat Blood Moon? We could have beat Blood Moon. We could have beat like a Saiyan Hand, that scam game I just punted. Wait, we've got plans for Blood Moon. They animated it? So they have a creature removal spell. They're trying to bait me into copy, then remove, but I can just... I can not copy here. Oh, wait, no, it stays till end of turn. Fuck. They have it, though. I should have gone for, I shouldn't have played around it. I'm dead, though, I think. I forgot that it was until on my turn also a creature. Should we have copied in response? Yes, we should have copied in response. I just didn't think that they were going to take that line, you know. If we win the die roll there, we also like win, you know, very easy. It's like deck's not performing, Spike. What are we talking about? Okay, I'm gonna bring in the extra Boseiju. I think I'm gonna go down to one forest. If they double Boseiju me, it kind of stinks, so that's okay. I think I bring in Needle over Expedition Map and click Submit. Mulligan. Feels so bad to mulligan a double Amulet hand, but we don't have a real land. Thankfully, we have another double Amulet hand. Triple Amulet hand, technically. Although I may be putting back... I'm not sure what I'm putting back. So I go... Turn 1, Saga Amulet. Turn 2, Amulet Boseiju. Stirrings. Yeah, I think I just kind of have to keep this. Hope I can like find a Golos off the Stirrings and draw a bounce land or vice versa, you know. Something along these lines. Would have been nice to be able to keep the Cavalier also. Uh-oh. It's kind of fine. Alright, so we're looking for mana land. There we go. See if they have green on turn 2. You want to leave with Saga? I would always leave with Saga here. It's kind of dicey whether I'm supposed to... I think I just have to pick up the Simic Growth Chamber. Yeah. Oh, I should have floated double green instead of blue, green. A little bit of a whoopsie. Probably won't punish me too badly. Okay, we get at least one spin here. Hopefully it's kind to us. Alright, this is, counts as kind. Bean. Ooh, I don't have enough green to storm here. Now I do. And we get to draw 2 cards. Okay, opponent is asking if I want them to concede. I said if they want to. They do want to. Okay, so we're going to game 3. Yeah, not super risky that we're going to deck ourselves because of the Emrakul. Like, we can mill it over with Cavalier sometimes, but... Or just cast it to win. But it is... It is kind of crazy that Beanstalk is cheaper than the Ring in this deck and draws more cards in the Ring in this deck. I think that's been very, very interesting. Okay, well, I'm definitely keeping. Could this be too slow? The Dragon's Tron. It could be. Time will tell. Yeah, I you know, never, ever mulligan this and hope for the best. Stonebrain, huh? Wonder what they'd name with that. So I can go Sanctuary. I can't get Blast Zone next turn. No, I'm mana short of casting Timeless Lotus here. Had you kept Lotus over Sanctuary, you could have gone off here. Yes. Could try to. It'd been very difficult to get the turn 2 though. It's a tough spot. I think that I'm going to just have 2 amulets for now. I really want to be able to cast my Bean. We just, you know, we have so much mana. We just are not not deterministic. We take Golos. If they Stonebraid the Golos, that's gonna be okay. I think I'm more or less happy if their turn is just activate Stonebrain. They have Natty Tron, in addition to Natty Stonebrain. They're also cracking this map. They find a Boseiju. Oh no, I've drawn my 1 basic forest. That sucks so much. They're gonna bring Emrakul? That might be fine. This really sucks to have drawn my forest. I'd have kept the Lotus Field. I don't know, it felt like it was so likely though on my turn 2, I needed to go second Lotus, cast Bean, cast Stirrings, and set up for the next thing. Like I at the time I just was not that likely to have, I think, a payoff to all the mana. But yeah, maybe being able to go off turn 2 is better. My opponent's draw was like certainly like really premium too. It's kind of like like it's gonna be tough to beat this no matter what. So maybe trying to win turn 2 is correct. Like I feel like it's a little bit of hindsight to say, oh, it's just easy to keep Lotus Field. Like the top of my library was super cooperative to that, right? In a way that I don't really feel like was predictable. Okay, do you just kind of have to... You had Lotus? Yeah, but I didn't have a payoff to the Lotus. Like, that's what I'm saying. And so that's why I needed to take the turn 2 to cast Bean Stirrings to look for a payoff, which is way better to keep the bounce land. Before they can, like, Boseiju my Amulet in response, I guess. You can filter green and cast Stirrings. I mean, I'd rather copy this turn. But what do you think of the Needle? My Golos is gone. I don't have another good Needle name, do I? Gardens, I guess? They do name Gardens. They play O-Stone, so I gotta go off this turn, huh? That'll help. Although, you know, one big problem here is I don't have Golos in my deck anymore to hit off the Ancient Stirrings. So it seems unlikely. Like I just kind of have to hit well off my Beanstalk draw. Yeah. So if I get Cavalier or Storm here, yeah. Okay. Tough game. Tough game. Deck's not performing, huh? I don't know. Maybe a little bit of suboptimal sequencing. I think maybe keeping the Lotus Field is right. It feels like very hindsighty, very tough to like. I think be on the draw in that matchup and plan to beat Stonebrain plus Boseiju on turn 3 on the draw. Kind of have to win the matchup, the die roll in that matchup, or or get very lucky with the turn 2. I think it's the 26th, not up with the 8. Thank y'all. Supposed to take another Lotus, I think. You're not. Like another Lotus is plus 5 mana total, right? So you have 2 amulets in play. If you take another Lotus, that Lotus is worth plus 5 mana. The amulet is plus 4 mana immediately because it untaps your Lotus once. It taps your Lotus once, and then anything you hit additionally is an immediate return on your investment. It was just a lead on Stirrings against a Windswept Heath. Conceal the amulet. Don't do this that often, but maybe I should be doing it more often. Take a Golos. Lotus redraws. Oh, because it yeah, I guess so. Of course. Although we're so much. If we could just hit that first time, we're a lot more likely to win. I don't know how likely we are to win just off the second Lotus. Maybe we're still likely enough. But obviously, it is kind of what we needed, right? Haven't been playing this matchup very much. I think that I'm supposed to just take it like pretty slow and set myself to a spot where, like, in 2 turns from here, I'm just gonna put 2 amulets into play. And if they have double binding, good beats. But I could also potentially, like, this next turn, pick up Boseiju, and then I can channel Boseiju on a binding. Win card is mostly Emrakul, but oh wow, yeah. So it seems like it'll be very difficult to not just win next turn, even if they ring me. We should be fine. I guess I have to go to discard, which is a little bit of a problem. Should I maybe play a? I guess I should just play an amulet now. Actually, can you explain holding amulet? I thought for sure that's what I was doing. This whole time, I thought for sure I was explaining holding the amulet. You know, the 4-color deck can't really do anything if you don't play permanents out. Their deck is like mostly just answers to permanents. So I'm waiting here until turn 4, where I can put now 3 amulets into play immediately, and also Boseiju a binding that they could have for amulet to overwhelm their mana all in one turn, rather than just letting them binding an amulet before I'm ready to go off and allowing them to use their mana efficiently. But yeah, I thought for sure that's what I was doing. I was explaining why I was holding it. Is Lotus Field the best field of Modern? Field of Ruin's pretty good. But also Lotus Field is pretty messed up Magic card. They're both... it's close. Alright, so I've been leading on Storm the Festival. Let's think for a moment if I want to lead on Timeless Lotus instead. I think going for Timeless Lotus first is probably a little bit better, just to kind of guarantee that I have enough mana, since I kind of already guarantee that I have enough payoffs, if that makes sense. So I think we just make a ton of green here. Then I think I want to be spinning Golos instead of flashing back Storm the Festival. That's been my heuristic. Obviously they could have like a Solitude here, but that would be okay. I could even just spin in response. Storm and Cavalier. Awesome. Let's got Storm first. Beanstalk. Turf. Draw a card. does feel like we have entered the can't really lose portion. Oh, well. It's kind of awkward a little bit shuffling the storms back in, but we still have plenty of activations. Oh my gosh. Why did I say anything? Okay, we had another storm. It's kind of like the exact sequence of things that can go wrong, though. We also have not hit another amulet in all of these spins. Should be okay, though. Okay, so now I have 3 more spins available minimum. Let's go ahead and cast this and see if we find Emrakul. No, we have another. Also, still no second or third amulet. I guess we have 1 amulet exiled, so I suppose it is less likely. We had Timeless Lotus double storm though. That's pretty good. Just more mana here. It's okay. The turns can take a long time, but it's just like almost deterministic that you are going to draw your library, cast, and cast the Emrakul. There's another amulet. Kind of just button clicking. Am I working on a build with new Agatha creature and Pilipala? I have yet to find a build that's like Pilipala Grand Architect that looks better than just like the mono blue Cauldron deck I've been working on. It's on my radar though, I guess. Do you win versus 3 Solitudes? I maybe don't win versus 3 Solitudes. I'm going to be able to beat 1. I guess that's actually kind of an important thing here. In these spots, we should be casting our Cavaliers to, I think, before we get Emrakul, because we don't want to deck ourselves. And like, I can get a Saga here, maybe for just a bit more power toughness, just in case my opponent is able to stop me via Solitude. Okay, there's another Cavalier. So we're gonna have 18 power in play, even if they Solitude my Emrakul. Okay, kind of throwing some value away, but I'm just gonna cast. My other Cavalier's in the graveyard, so there's not really anything else I can do this turn. I think it's actually actively good not to cast this stuff, to just leave cards in my library. Yeah, so even as yeah, this is also again part of the Cavalier idea is that you're just a lot better against Solitude. Oh, almost get through the attacker step, which was maybe my opponent's out. And chance you thought about Beanstalk in your Time Warp One Ring deck? Yeah, been kind of messing around with that a little bit. It's not really too different from like Reed's deck, where I'm at with it at the moment. Reed's deck is pretty good. What if Emmy is the last card? It won't be, or it shouldn't be. Like with Ancient Stirrings and putting cards at the bottom of Storm the Festival, you fucked up if you brick on the Emrakul forever. Yeah, and this is the matchup to bring in the extra Emrakuls. I think I'm going to cut the map in a Stirrings, click Submit. Although maybe I want 3rd Boseiju over 3rd Forest. Maybe we're 4th Lotus Field. 61. 62? Kind of weird. Kind of like it though. With like if I'm gonna go up on cards, like is having an extra Ancient Stirrings in your deck, is 61 cards with 4 Ancient Stirrings more consistent than 60 with 3 Ancient Stirrings? I guess it is. Any reason to want Force for binding? I think we just want Boseijus for binding. If you're gonna play any, I would play maybe one Force of Vigor, but I think just the Boseijus are fine. Very slow hand, but this is like certainly the kind of matchup I think you can afford to keep a really slow hand like this. Don't usually want to keep a hand that's this slow. In fact, I think... I guess I need to hold the bounce land. Alright, take a Saga. Correct TFOA base, it's like 90% of a Pioneer legal base. No, yeah, you're way off. I don't know why people keep saying that. Like you don't have the bounce lands, you don't have Urza Saga, you don't have Amulet, you don't have Ancient Stirrings, you don't have like most. I mean, maybe like a lot of the cards are legal, right? Like these cards are legal. So I guess it kind of looks like at first glance, but the deck can't function without bounce lands and can't function without Amulet. So it is not a Pioneer deck or comparable to a Pioneer deck, I think. Okay, I think just like last time, we're gonna hold the Amulet again. If bounce lands were legal, the deck still could not function at all, right? Because the deck is so built around Amulet. If Amulet was legal, though, we'd be cooking. You do have Lotus Field and Pioneer, at least. Man, 4 color is so bad when you just don't do anything. Like, they're... What can they even do against an opponent who refuses to cast a spell? They probably have a binding up. So we're gonna go grab an Amulet, cast an Amulet. They definitely have binding. I'm gonna be playing around it here. Oh, green? So like Nature's Claim? No, they just mistapped. Okay. So I think that I'm likely enough to brick here because I just have Cavalier plus the Bean draw that I'm not going to Lotus Field yet. Although I guess I probably should have. I guess I can still pick up the Boseiju. Another Beanstalk. It did not mill over a. So I guess I could like if I really am scared, I can like try to win off the draw for the Bean. I think I just play Gardens here and then I filter for green, cast Beanstalk, draw my card, pass the turn. Uh-oh. It's always the best card against us. That being said, I do think we do have the Boseiju to clear the binding here. We have a third Beanstalk. They're really in the tank on like, am I sacrificing this Goblin Shaman for a treasure? And they decide yes. Does feel like maybe I'm just gonna be grinding a little bit here. gonna pick the Boseiju back up, of course. It also had 9 life. Pretty relevant number. So Rin and 6, no Boseiju yet. Here's a Boseiju. Although this allows me to Boseiju their binding on their instep. Which kind of ends up... No! Oh, I thought I had one more click. That's so bad. I thought I had one more click. That sucks. So I'm gonna go to combat first. Just take a breath. Game is so much easier if I don't fuck that up. Okay, so if I Boseiju the binding now, I'm a mana short of casting anything. Oh, this is so shitty. Yeah, I mean that wasn't the relevant thing. Okay. I also don't have any more like forest to get, which stinks. What can I even do? Not really anything. I guess should I just play Lotus Field this turn and pass? Should I even Boseiju? Yeah, I think there's just like a good enough chance. Like if my opponent Boseiju's on their turn, it's tough because I don't have any more forests. They don't necessarily know that. Yeah, Lotus Field having hexproof is obviously relevant. It's really an interesting game. Why not sack the Guardians so it's easier to play second field? Well, I might still copy this Amulet with this Gardens. Here though, I think I'm just gonna go Golos. It's so bad for me if my opponent... If I could get a Lotus Field here and like just have my lands be hexproof, which is really nice. It's so bad, though, if they just blow up a land in response instead of my Golos. I would expect them to blow up the Golos, though. So I'm just going to get Urza Saga. Obviously, that misclick, or... it was a misclick. Really ended up punishing us. What's nice here, too, is, like, we get to, like... We can start our next turn off with like a casting amulet. We're likely to win next turn. This matchup is also really, really good in general. Cauldron with Cody. I mean, I can reread Cody, but I can't remember that card doing anything. Cauldron is an excuse to play like some lower card quality cards, but it ain't that low. You know what I mean? Wait, why doesn't it bring up the text? Oh, weird. You can't cast permanent spells. 4-tap Wooburg. When you cast your next spell... What did they exile? Oh, they just picked up Boseiju, sorry. Until you exile an instant or sorcery card. So we have to be playing a lot of good instants and sorceries in our Cauldron deck. Wonderful. Wonderful, we'll have to do that. Okay. Damping Sphere? Fuck. Damping Sphere? That is bullshit to get Damping Sphered here. Actually, outrageous. So, I can Boseiju the Sphere. So this taps for a colorless, and then I go... Filter this for a green. And then I'm going to play my Lotus Field so my lands will have hexproof for now. Yeah, Pioneer Problems, Pioneer Solutions. Tough game. Culture doesn't copy the downside. Just one instant sorcery, something game ending. That's the problem, though. It's like just like you have to put like Primal Surge in your deck. You're gonna draw it, and like when you draw your one instant or sorcery, all of a sudden your Cody deck doesn't do anything, and it's like much worse than other combos. But I can see that it is a fun idea for sure. Red and 6 down, so they still have that Boseiju though. Let's see what we can find off our stirrings first. Was it possible to play Amulet, play Lotus the Boseiju? No. Not because of the Damping Sphere. So they're going after the Gruul Turf, which I think is overall fine for me, so I get to keep my Amulet. Does mean that I can't quite... Oh, it's not fine for me, actually. Fair enough. Alright, your turn. That being said, Red and 6 Boseiju offline. You know, we've had to face... Pending on an Amulet, Binding an Amulet, Force of Vigor, Rid and 6 Boseiju a million times, freaking Damping Sphere, and I mean, I guess we wouldn't have had to face the Damping Sphere if I hadn't misclicked, but still weirdly feel like I'm favored to win this game. Just playing on hard mode. Not playing land? I've already played a land for turn. This is definitely what it's like to play this deck, though. There's a lot of like a lot of chat telling you you're misplaying, and then a lot of times though you are actually misplaying. That's been my experience, at least. All right, last card is a Solitude. It's fine. So it's good to know that I don't have to play around anything at this point. Let's see what we draw. Another Boseiju. It's actually pretty clean, right? They do have a Reflection Solitude of. I guess we have to play around that. But I should have enough Emrakuls in the deck. It won't matter. Which is quite the sentence. Alright, no lands. Don't need them. Okay. I can't cast that right now. I will be able to cast it this turn. I have 8, 11, 12 mana. I'm just trying to think if there's... I think I should cast Storm the Festival. I'd prefer to hold the other Timeless Lotus for next turn if possible. Because remember, this Emrakul is going to get Solituded. Okay. It is actually pretty important to get like a real mana into play next turn. Or another... Yeah, just get these two though. Wait. Is this targeting this one? I'm actually not sure that that's right. Please untap. I couldn't really see. No, come on. Ugh. I couldn't... They were just right on top of each other. The board was so small. I should have, like, rearranged it and stuff. Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh, it is the right one. It is the right one. That's... It's fine. but very hard to tell. Okay, so this is 12. 12 plus 4, 16. So yeah, let's just go ahead and grab a Saga. Why, do I really not have a bounce land in my hand? I guess that's what happens when I keep Lotus Fielding. Should be fine though, because I also have the Timeless Lotus in play. I can just cast Timeless Lotus off Timeless Lotus, I guess. Oh, and I did stack my triggers incorrectly, but we still have enough mana to just cast Emrakul. We have a third Emrakul in the deck too, if this isn't enough. Boseiju Fable? Oh yeah, I guess that would be probably a bit better. This should be fine though. There's actually a pretty good argument though for discarding Emrakul to hand size so I don't deck myself. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's okay. We're gonna win. It's gonna be a little slower, huh? It's so funny to discard Emrakul to hand size when I can cast it next turn. But it's just because I want to cast it extra times. Okay, so let's start off with a Storm, I think. They get both? Both seems okay. Okay, so we copy an Amulet. Tap Lotus, cast Emrakul. Okay, how can I tell which one it's this one that's glowing right now, I'm assuming. I think that's what it was last time. I don't know why it's... I guess it's because I have all these Beanstalks in play. For some reason, the board is a lot more clogged. Definitely a headache of a match. Is it good to discard this Emrakul to hand size? It should be fine to not. I can just, like, cast it, attack for 15 twice. Just discard some cards that are kind of random. EDH game? Well, I think Emrakul's banned in EDH. Simply need to cast 3 Emrakuls this game to win. Oh, what a game. Modern's so fun. It's exactly what we live for, huh? Okay, so this is 5 plus 9 plus 1, that's 15. Yeah, Golos is also banned. This is not an EDH game at all, playing all the banned cards. But it's like, surely there's not a third Emrakul over there. Your Time Warps are pretty good when they come with a 15/15 Flying Annihilator, too. Easy. Oh, we actually we have infinite turns. We have infinite turns. We just keep playing a second Emrakul. Just keep. Okay, good 6. Like the Emrakul. Keep. No, you really can't keep a hand without an Amulet, Saga, or Stirrings. I think it gets Rogran Triome. I might actually lead on Grazer here. I very rarely do it, I think, but against a slow deck with this kind of weird hand composition, I'm gonna do this. I definitely liked the way we played that last game, really slow. Yeah, be surprised if they counter my stirrings. Urza Saga is kind of like the #1 card I thought in my head I was looking for. I think that is what I'm gonna take here. They definitely have counter spells, so like making a couple constructs and putting some pressure on them seems worth doing. Boseiju, fair enough. So now we don't have a lot. What we do have is time, and plenty of it. Yeah, they could have binding. That's true. But we could just chill for a while. We have a lot of very powerful top decks. We have like a good degree of inevitability. Okay, though we won't have infinite time anymore. So we have all the mana we could really realistically want. Or a deck that maybe not. Maybe that's not even true. That's okay. We also, if we lose this one, I think are pretty favored overall. Is Psychosis Crawler win more for this deck? I mean, I just can't possibly imagine whatever card this is not win more, but I don't know what it does, so I will read it and then tell you it's bad again. Oh my gosh. I keep hitting Control V, but I guess I don't have a Psychosis Crawler. Control Seed. Oh yeah, that card is win more. That card is win more in every deck you would ever consider putting it in, so that might save you some time. Okay, so I need to be able to spin this Golos. Is that possible? Not sure. Don't think that it is. Let's see, so I have 6, 7, 8 mana. This is -3, so 5 total. Yeah, I can't. Let's just go to game 2. Okay, Emrakul's in. And last time I cut the map, brought in 3rd Boseiju. Keep in 3rd Boseiju because they're a Boseiju deck. I think I cut a Lotus Field. And I registered 61. Kind of down to do that again. Maybe you could play 4 Boseijus. Or the first force could be better than Boseiju 4. Let's just try this. Needle for ring. It's just not that kind of matchup. Usually it's just tough for them to tap out for the ring. Your Emrakul is kind of your answer for the ring. I have to mulligan that. Have to go to 5. Not super often you mulligan 2 hands that have an amulet, but these were definitely some of those hands. Okay, this hand's pretty good. Could be a turn 3 win. Or at the top of our library is kind enough to us. Yeah, I just don't think this is a Pithing Needle matchup. Very happy to find another amulet here. The Golos would be nice, but I think it's also just so likely that they have an interactive spell for an amulet that it's good to get a 3rd one here. There's a good chance they also just have like Boseiju. I don't know that they would Boseiju main phase. I'm hoping they just cast Rin in 6 or Beanstalk. So they go for the Boseiju. So happy I grabbed the amulet. So I get to go amulet. I think I'm 1 mana short of. Yeah, 1 mana short of playing a 5-drop here, unfortunately. Next turn, though. Alright, well we're playing amulets, they're playing disenchants. We'll see who runs out first. Risen Reef? I've not seen that card in a long time. Maybe it's in the sideboard for the mirror. Kind of seems hard to main deck in the Bowmaster world. It's a good pickup. I'm gonna play that before we play a 5-drop. Right, another Dark Ritual. I think I'm actually gonna go for Timeless Lotus first. We'll have to use our Grazer to... Oh no, we'll have enough green. Well, I may use my Grazer first anyways. Although I guess if I'm bricking off my Cavalier, I'm not going to use my Grazer. What can happen that would make me want a Grazer first? I could draw a spell that costs like 4, yeah, which I don't really have any. I'll just cast this first. Is this exactly it? Okay, we didn't brick, but this was maybe the secret. Maybe like bricking here, drawing this would be the reason why. I don't know why I thought it would be exactly 4. We have so much more floating mana. I think my brain was like, I have no more green, so it has to be exactly 4 or something. I have so much like extra non-green mana. I wonder if it's like actually correct to flash back Storm the Festival here instead of casting it from hand. My brain is kind of telling me that that's true. Brain's not always correct, but I guess I should do it from hand so that a Golos is a better hit, so I can keep better diversity of mana floating. Okay, so let's Sanctuary Cavalier. That's funny, that's actually not a brick. Oh, we hit Emrakul. No. Ugh. Guess you're more likely to hit Emrakuls, huh? What a weird turn. Should have flashed back. Okay, we'll flash back next time. ESO, the 6 months, they can think you will come back. We have 2 Cavaliers in play. We have a Beanstalk. Double Amulet. Does Domain Zoo scam Beanless from Deck Freedom? I've seen them, yeah. Yeah, good lesson to learn. Sure. Can we cast Emrakul if we draw one? We have 5, 6, 7, 8. No, not quite. Excuse me. Okay. Still a lot of good top decks here. Another game we've kind of messed up, but it's okay. The sequencing with this build seems pretty different from other builds we've had in the past. Okay, so we're looking to draw a Golos, we're looking to draw a Cavalier, Storm the Festival. Another Timeless Amulet makes a lot of mana and buys me some time. Can't quite cast Emrakul. Ding 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 ding. So we have to draw off the bean. Okay, interesting draw. Interesting hits here. So I can at least flashback if I do this. I'm a little short of just Emrakuling. Oh no, this is only 6 mana. Or sorry, 7 mana. This is 10 to flashback. Oops. So I don't think I had a better pile for whatever that's worth. For some reason I thought I had one more amulet. That's okay though, they've got 3 cards in their hand. Hopefully they're like not Force of Vigor or anything, but we... Oh, do I have my land to play. That's why I thought I could do it. I still have my land to play. It's so weird, like sometimes like I just calculate something like that and then forget and then almost move on. Alright, so yeah, this is 13 mana, so 2 short of Emrakul. I should probably be leaving triple green in the pool for Cavalier. Double Amulet and a Golgari Rot Farm. Weird. So if I hit 1 Amulet, that's... If I go Amulet Rot Farm, I have 8 mana plus 3. Okay, well... Seems very likely that we'll start our turn off next turn by casting an Emrakul. I think even if they have Force of Vigor, right? They Force of Vigor 2 amulets. Then we go 6 plus 5 plus 4, which is 15 exactly. They've already cast 1 Time Warp. That being said, it's like, you know, I guess they've already used 2 Solitudes, so I don't need to be like that worried about them having a 3rd one. They could have one, of course. We also get to draw a card off of our Emrakul cast. Seems unlikely that they'll kill me this turn. So 4 from the Omnath, 4 from the Omnath, a 2nd time. Yeah, still. So our life total should be plenty high. Maybe they could have another Time Warp in their sideboard or something. No, we've had more amulets in play than this. I think we've had like 7 before. Okay, so they're gonna have protection from everything. It doesn't really matter that much. We'll have to. We won't be able to win until we've annihilated their whole board. But we can cast infinite Emrakuls, assuming they don't have the last 2 Solitudes plus 2 more white cards, I guess. Okay. They have something? Maybe not. They have protection until their next turn. Yeah, but we're going to be able to just keep casting Emrakuls over and over again because we legend roll 1 to the other. I guess it's possible we could brick, but we're going to be drawing a lot of cards. Like each Emrakul is plus 2 cards. I don't know why I keep spinning green mana. Each Emrakul is plus 2 cards. So we'd have to brick pretty hard, and they would have to have like at least the first Solitude. Okay, so we bricked on our first draw here. Let's just go to our extra turn. Yeah, but the plan is going to be to make them sacrifice all their permanents and then, you know, win after that. Okay, this is the Timeless Lotus represents a redraw. They don't have a Solitude, which is really good news. Sacking both Reefs, the Beanstalk, the Ring. Do you think they have? Do they think they can't sack lands? Okay, they know they can sack lands. Interesting. Well, let's cast another Emrakul. How many hard cast Emrakuls does it take to win a game of Modern? Last game it took 3. They think they're getting another turn? Well, they are getting another turn. They're just not going to have any permanence when they get to their turn. Like Fluff, they go 40 months? Yeah, I agree. A good day to resub. Emrakul. Actually, this is maybe a screenshot here. There's a lot of cards that trigger Up the Beanstalk. Okay. Let's just go ahead and go to our next turn, I think, before I start storming. You'd use it to not cast Lotus. Yeah, it's better for next turn, I think. Because like the most effective thing I can do with the turn while they have protection is you just cast an Emrakul, attack, and then I want to be able to like next turn make a lot of mana and then dig for another Emrakul. Got 2 more in the deck at the moment. And if I'm going to be if I want the extra mana next turn. Not screenshotting the second Emrakul already in play. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I could have done better. Wait, they have something? They Dude, what the fuck, dude? I guess they just worried about Boseiju or something? Okay, so they do get more mana here. But how could they have something else? No, we gotta well, we're not gonna get 15 damage, because they still have protection from everything. They still have protection from everything, but we do get to attack again. Okay, but they just want to go to game 3. And I'm gonna run it back, I think. Definitely keeping this. You're on the draw. Could be a matchup where I just go like Boseiju Stirrings, then Saga Beanstalk. I kind of like that. Just play real slow here. Yeah, I think I honestly feel like the screenshot is maybe better without the other Emrakul in play. It's like a bit more like, wow, what? What are you doing? Maybe I'll tune into your Twitch stream. No, just not kidding myself. Nobody's tuning in. Oh, I would love if they're binding a Beanstalk. That's so good for us. That's so good for us. Teferi would be pretty bad here, bouncing the Saga, I guess. Oh, just a Risen Reef. Okay. So they didn't have Force of Vigor last turn. I think I like maybe just going copy the amulet now before they can respond to it with a piece of interaction. Casting Up the Beanstalk also seems really good. I'm gonna cast Up the Beanstalk. I've played that way a few times in this matchup. I kind of just want to be trying playing a different way. I don't know if that makes sense. Sometimes you just gotta figure out different game plans and like take different lines. These kind of weird matchups or weird decks. So this is their turn. So they didn't hit a. I guess they would not eventually an Inner's Tap, so they can't make more mana. Basically, no matter what. Oh wait, but they had to land off the reef, so they did have the land drop to play. But they played Boseiju as a land. What does that mean? Maybe it means they have another Boseiju. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and play my Simic Growth Chamber before I copy Amulet to play around them channeling Boseiju in response. And then I'm 1 mana short of go copy Amulet, cast Storm. I'm a little bit worried about casting Lotus though. Like I feel like if I cast the Lotus, I no longer have done a good job of playing around Boseiju. So maybe I guess I should just go copy into play Golos, get Lotus Field. They don't have the Boseiju. Yeah, just win the game. I know our record hasn't been stellar or anything, but deck's been like performing very well for me in testing. Beanstalk has been great today, which is of course like kind of the most important thing when you're showing off a new piece of tech. Show off the new card. Beanstalk's been looking good. I think we maybe have the best version of this deck ever, which is exciting after going through so many iterations, and I feel like our record will also, not that it's like awful today, but not that, maybe it's not great either. Just kind of early. Has lost some close ones. Excited to see how it goes. Yeah, I think I just want another Amulet here. Kind of funny that, like, if only Storm of the Festival put the permanents into play tapped, which would usually be a downside for a normal deck. They're endurancing me. They also get to draw an extra card here. It is really crazy that the Up the Beanstalk draws more cards than the Ring usually does in this deck. Usually Ring just draws like... It does Fog, which is nice, but it's usually Fog, draw 3. In this deck, or unless you have Manamo, but you have to play a lot of Manamos, which isn't also ideal. This deck just draws so many cards. And it's also only 2 mana. I guess I just double bounce land. One less click through, huh? It is kind of funny how this deck like does not often have lands in play, but infinite mana. I don't have like an Emrakul hiding over here, do I? We have three Emrakuls in the deck. It is surely just a matter of time. But it's maybe conceding here, yeah. Easy. Yeah, I think this deck is easier. I use code SPIKEMOX to charge me full price. What am I doing wrong? I am not sure. First person to report that issue, I can maybe message somebody. If you want to email me, I mean, this is maybe opening up a can of worms, but you could maybe email me a screenshot or something. So I'm curious. I want to make sure y'all are getting your discount. Any chance to update or play again with the deck with the new turtle? Yeah, so I was thinking about playing the new turtle with this shell, and then I didn't get, you know, no pun intended. I didn't get too far with that thought though, because turtle is a 4-drop and not a 5-drop, and doesn't trigger Up the Beanstalk, so it's kind of tough. If it costs 1 more mana, and you know, probably would have to have more text too, but I'd be a bit more excited about it, you know. Fourth Amulet's pretty tempting. But I do want to, I'm just gonna do this. I do want to cast the new turtle again. We did it like right when set release came out. Still open to it. Maybe I could have done the 2 other colors because of Golos. Emrakul, huh? So not casting Emrakul, let's just put a Saga into play. Didn't hit a Storm either. Do I Boseiju their Up the Beanstalk? I don't think so. Might go check out the cool stuff story go Orlando. Yeah, the Command Fest sounds very fun, Doom. We have a good time. Get a little bit of FOMO, I'm sure. So I guess I'm only ever getting to make 1 token here. It's probably okay. No Command Fest, it's an S event. I thought it was Command Fest. Okay, well. Either way, I hope you have a good time. I could maybe even pick up the Saga. So I can make more tokens. It does mean that I'm not, I'm kind of just like an Arboreal Grazer away from Emrakul, but I think this is probably a good enough, fail-safe. Wait, so what is the Edison event? Is it just like a different tournament organizer? That's the construct. It's okay. To correct the fetch, they did to the Cavalier attack next turn. If I draw a Timeless Lotus, I can Emrakul. 9, 11, yeah, not quite enough. I have played EDH. I have a couple of EDH decks, but I have not played in a while. Retro Yu-Gi-Oh? Okay, sounds fun. Commanders I have a Slinvada, very casual EDH deck with all of the awful sea monsters that ever existed, like Leviathan, Polar Kraken, Yoko Mordor. And then I have Magda, which has it says Magda plus good ramp stuff, and then I don't have any infinite combos. I just try to put a lot of dragons into play. And then usually what I've been doing is I just put as many dragons as I can into play, and then if someone else board wipes, I'll concede and just go do whatever else, and then if they don't, I win the game. I need to update both decks though. It's been a little while, but I also haven't played them in a long time. I draft with some friends on Mondays sometimes, but I haven't. Since sometimes they play EDH, but I haven't really been bringing my EDH decks when I go. Okay, a lot of good draws here, and we have a ton of time also. I think hopefully. Okay, I might be able to Emrakul here. So if I go play Lotus Field, it's 9 mana. Golos can get another Lotus Field, which is another 9. So 3 plus 9 plus 9 minus 5, 18, 21, minus 5, 16. Yeah, should do it. I can also, of course, set myself up to spin. I'm not sure what plays around Solitude better. Let's go ahead and see what we draw off the Up the Beanstalk, I suppose. So this is 7 mana. Okay, I think with this draw, we're gonna do some spinning. I guess I get a force, random force of negation, though. Solitude seems so much more likely. Force of negation's more or less non-existent. I can even just go Timeless Lotus first. Gonna have better info. Yeah. Don't need to be too afraid of monsters in the closet. And so I would like to get to a spot where I have multiple Cavaliers in play, if possible. Oh, brick's pretty bad there. I guess I just need to cast Emrakul. And it didn't leave it in green floating. Why do I keep doing that? I guess I don't have a good answer. Don't have a good answer. But if they salted the Emrakul, will not be the end of the game. Won't be good. Won't be great though. Okay, they don't have it, so they're just dead. Cool. All right, getting very used to sideboarding in this matchup. This matchup has been very good, for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I think I still just do 2. Go up to 61. Playing Lotus the Cauldron. Yeah, no Cauldrons. I know it's kind of... Last week was Cauldron week. Maybe this week is Bean week. Is there no dragon that gives haste? You could play Dragon Lord Kolagon, but like... Emrakul kind of gives itself haste because it take an extra turn. Should do a Cauldron Bean deck. I have no idea what that even would look like, to be honest. Alright, let's keep this. Can I play my Grazer out turn 1? No, I don't, because I won't have like another land necessarily to play. I'm gonna hold the Amulet though. That was Bean. Bean is really good in this deck. I think this is the best build I've had of this deck. Like this build, compared to versions of Karn, gets a real sideboard. Has a like the card advantage engine of Beanstalk is a bit lower. You're a bit faster to go off in general. You don't have to play a Timeless Lotus in the side. I guess I don't often play Timeless Lotus in the sideboard, I suppose, but there's a lot I think to like about this build over previous builds we've had. Maybe good to cast the Amulet there while they're tapped out. In general, I've been in the habit of holding them a little bit. Kind of scared of Teferi bounce Saga. I guess if that happens, I can like rebuild a little bit with Grazer. Souls Guy with the 6 months. Hope you're doing well. Okay. They don't have a third land. Wow. I guess they did have a third land. Okay, so let's just go Amulet copy, I think. Yep, they stay key. I'm like working on it. But I don't think that I'm starting to think Boseiju just like is not better than other builds we've had in the past, and because of that, I'm not really sure where I'm going from there. Interesting pickup. I think I want to play my Beanstalk here. Yeah, I'm a little bit short of doing anything else, but I think that's okay. Can pick up the Boseiju, channel Boseiju now. What I don't like about that plan is that my opponent's been stuck on mana. What I do like about that plan is it gets another Amulet in play. Let's do it, I think. Just like really important to just like keep putting an Amulet to play every turn until they don't have enough disenchants. They know the bounce the garden. Opinion on the eggs deck's been floating around? I don't have a strong opinion on them, I guess. They're cool though. I've tried to like work on them a little bit, see if I can improve them, and I think I've not really figured out a way to do that in a way that seems to be meaningfully better than what has been floating around, but I'm open to continue to work on it. So a little short of Emrakul right now. Yeah, let's get third Amulet Gruul Turf. Obviously, you could get Cavalier, but I think the odds of bricking on Cavalier are high enough for me to just grab Gruul Turf instead, if that makes sense. So pick this up. I have 12 mana. Could play another Beanstalk. I think I just don't want to use the mana, so I'm just a bit more likely to Emrakul here. I think hitting 2 bounce lands is an Emrakul at this point. Amulet, Golos. This is definitely what I'm taking. I'm definitely going to get another Lotus Field. And then I should have enough to cast an Emrakul here. I'm a little bit worried about... No, I could just keep casting Emrakuls every turn, huh? Should be good to go. Can I cast a Cavalier and cast Emrakul even if I brick? That's a question I need to answer, I suppose. I have 13, 15. I'm a little short. Let's see if I hit a Timeless Lotus here. Do not hit a Timeless Lotus. Alright, so this is... Again, 14, 15. Yeah, so I have enough to Beanstalk first. Cool. Well, this matchup has seemed really good. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Play that matchup 3 times in a row. The Mill vs. Scam matchup. Scam is pretty favored. Well, I've been spell pierced enough times, I think, to spend this turn casting Expedition Map. How do you feel the mono white Norn deck you're playing is in general meta? Fine. The deck is pretty high variance in general because you don't have a lot of card selection. It's a deck that I don't mind playing, though. It's a deck that I would be like happy enough to play in a league or tournament. Lonely Sandbar, huh? What are you doing over there? I was not exactly expecting that to resolve, I guess. Yeah, so this will let me go next turn Lotus Field, Timeless Lotus, and then if Timeless Lotus gets countered, I can still go Grazer, Lotus Field, Cavalier. What, next turn? You think I'm getting killed this turn? Or what's the comment? Could be Twiddlestorm? Yeah, Twiddle actually makes a lot of sense now that you say it. Could we? Yeah, I guess we could be killed this turn. Twiddle's a turn 4 deck. You can kill on turn 3. Overall, we should be, pretty favored in the matchup. Hidden Strings, not as effective as another Twiddle would be here, though. They do have protection from everything, but they'll be dead to an Emrakul attack. Okay, just 2 ships passing in the night, I suppose. If we don't hit a Storm the Festival here, we're going to be kind of screwed, but we can... Oh, are we going to be choked on green? I suppose it's best to play Timeless Lotus first. Yeah. So we won't be choked on green. Yeah, so 5 looks at a Storm the Festival to hopefully go off. It is very difficult for Twiddlestorm to brick after they've played a ring. We've played a lot of Twiddlestorm. We had 2 Storm the Festivals and a Lotus Field. Holy shit. Was it actually better to get another Lotus or sorry, Gardens? I don't think it was this turn. That was pretty perfect. Okay, now maybe I get another Gardens. Could have been better to get Sanctuary. I think maybe the chance of milling over another Storm is pretty appealing, and I can still Storm again off the Grazer. Yeah, let's get another Gardens. Copy. Grazer, 12 mana. I guess I need... No, I could just... If I get Golos, I could just be floating green and get the 4 other colors off another Lotus Field. Okay, we have... Bricked. We have one more draw. Come on. Ding, ding, ding. We win. Think. It'll take a little while, maybe. But really liking the 4 Lotus Fields in this build also. I've played less in the past. Okay, just looking for the Emrakul, of course, or mostly just looking for Emrakul. There it is. Yeah, I am liking this version better than the card version. And like I think Bean and Cavalier are both pretty big upgrades, to be honest. Like just like Cavalier plus Emrakul as a win con over Karn gives you a real sideboard, harder to interact with, and like enables Beanstalk, and Beanstalk is really, really good. Okay, I don't think there's really any point to doing anything. Yeah, protection, but no permanence. Okay, so we are up a game against Twiddlestorm in this 4-1 match. Their deck is so reliant on putting the One Ring into play, and twiddling it will definitely bring in the Pithing Needle. How do we untap Timeless Lotus? Amulet of Vigor, so we untap everything, too. No Shadow Spear, so we can Boseiju there, Lotuses. We'll get to see which Lotus Storm deck is better. Hard hint to mulligan, so let's not. Forces? What does Force do against them? Like, it's like maybe Breach if they're on the Breach build, which I don't think you have to play a Breach in the deck. I've played Twiddlestorm without Breach and kind of like those builds a bit better. You can play it, it's fine. So we likely have a turn 3 kill here. Will that be fast enough? Ring is indestructible, so you can't Force Vigor it. I would definitely play it if you could destruct it, though. It's a good draw. Man, Beanstalk has been really, really good in this deck. It's like just a great play. Like you have so many like turn 2. Turn 2 is a setup turn so often. It's just fits the curve so well. Draws so many cards. Lets you fight through interaction. So Grazer close to bricking. Seems like this deck should never brick once the Jig gets going. I don't know, like we started that turn with like just the Cavalier, and so like we were lucky to hit the Storms in the first place. You know, and then we started to run kind of bad and got kind of close to bricking, and then we hit on the last card. You know, that is one thing about this deck versus Amulet Titan is it's not deterministic, but you win almost all the time. Yeah, I'm gonna get another Amulet here. And then think about playing another Beanstalk. Let's play another Beanstalk here. How's the Murktide matchup? I haven't played the Murktide matchup yet, but I usually don't mind it so much. It kind of depends on how many, if they have Blood Moon in the main, which is not very common these days, and it kind of depends on you know, how well you draw, I suppose, but overall, it's a matchup I don't really mind to see. +5 mana, draw 2 cards. I think the Beanstalk also will likely have appreciably made the matchup better. Pick this up. I want to play this Grazer before I lose all my green mana, I suppose. Although I could get more green mana with Golos also. Golos over Lotus to beat Spell Pierce. I wasn't necessarily thinking they were that likely to have Spell Pierce. That could have been a fine play though. I don't really see a lot of downside to it, so I guess I'm signing off on being on board to have taken that line instead. Were I able to travel back in time. Okay, so let's see if they concede to my Emrakul. Emrakul, this is turn 3, by the way. This deck is always so silly. What's so silly about this deck is, like, people also think this deck is awful. You just, like, turn 3 do this, like, almost every game. Okay, but it's not conceded, so we're gonna keep going. Maybe they think they can twiddle the, Emrakul or something. I'm gonna try to put a couple Cavaliers into play. Okay, now I guess I'll need a Flooded Strand. They conceding to the Needle. The Needle was the Okay. I know we lost the first round of the league, so deck was unperforming, but you know, bouncing back. Deck is, I feel like, just looking great too. Oh, Jason and Urza Saga, pretty cool. Let's do another one. I woke up really excited about this deck. I think this deck's great. You conceded a minute ago? Really? I've never seen concession lag that bad. GG's.